course. We'll have some laughs here. Full screen, let me show you this. This is the Dennis Eckersley scenario. Story of saving, 8 o'clock tomorrow night here on the MLB Network. Eckersley, one of the all-time greats, as we discuss it with our good buddy. Can I shake your hand? Reluctantly. Oh, it is going to be feisty. But we'll get to that. Let's do Eckersley first. Now, you want to give the credit to Dave Duncan? Go ahead. But you are the manager that put him in this role as a ninth-inning guy that, at the end of the day, made him a Hall of Famer.
Well, I'll start by, I saw the video, or the documentary show last night.
Right.
Outstanding. I wouldn't miss it. I'd recommend it to everybody. It's so powerful. Eck is just very honest, and I had tears several times sitting next to Jack Morris, and I'm laughing out loud, so I encourage everybody to watch it.
All right, Dave Duncan, where's your pitching coach? What was the reasoning? Was it an experiment? Let's try it. Did you really feel he had the stuff to do it? What puts him in this ninth-inning situation?
Well, we knew after the winter that Sandy Alderson had going into 1988 that he had filled about 8 spots from a 500 club. We knew we were really good. Dave asked me, how good do you think we are? I said, really good. He says, how many guys pitched the ninth? I said, Eck is the best we got. He says, well, if we're ahead of a lot of the game, well, I got what you're going. The more often that Eck's available, the more we close out the games. And we had outstanding setup guys like, Rick Honeycutt and Eric Plum and Gene Nelson. So Dunk is the guy that had the idea. All I do was do what I do with Dunk for 20 years, 28 years. Yes, Deb. Eck made it work. And the one point that I made last night when I was talking to Matt was sometimes people just don't underestimate the difficulty of the close. And if you sit there for 8 innings and the whole team is relying on you to get those 3 outs, they're not like this. It's hard.
Yeah.
And the film does a great job of not just his professional success, but his personal.
Yeah, I've always been a big fan of him, and I tell you, his control. He was always 0-2 every single batter. I mean, he had the one walk. We all know with Gibson. We've talked about it a million times. But I mean, his control. He was 0-2 every time that batter began. It was 0-2. He had impeccable control.
I didn't count how many pitches they showed. They probably showed maybe 30 or 40 pitches in that documentary, and every one was on black. I mean,
every single one, huh? And he felt good when he got the last out in the '89 World Series against the Giants, Brett Butler. He got the last out after the year before, so anybody deserved to get that last out after the Gibson one. It's that, right?
So I'll give you a little quick anecdote that you don't deserve, but I'm going to give it to you.
He's mad at me. We'll get to that. Go ahead.
We had, they told me they kicked you out of the building. That's why we're outside.
Go ahead.
So when we did our PFP, pitchers still inside spring training, Eck was, you had just keep kicking. Come on, Eck, you're a veteran. People are watching, at cover first. He walk over there, and come on, Heck, I'm saving it. And all the other stuff that we did with PFP, Eck was nice. Well, nobody's going to get on base against me. He just laughed. So the last out was Brett Butler, and he beats Brett Butler at first base.
Who could run?
And nobody knows. We don't know how he did it because he never practiced it.
I learned something. Okay, we do the nice things. Let's do the bad things. Listen, I've been tough on it. Harold Baines, I know you managed him. You know my feeling on it. How in the world did you guys figure out to put Harold Baines in the Hall of Fame? Go ahead.
I think one of the problems that I see, and this happens a lot, not just about the Hall of Fame voting, has to do with a lot of other issues today. There's a real disrespect of managers, coaches, scouts, and a lot of people like yourself. You love the game, you look at it, but if the writers made that ballot of 10 people, we didn't do it. They put the candidates. If you look with some depth, and that's the way I was taught, Mr. Weaver taught us, so deep depth. You get deep. Leland and I talk about time. You go here, and then you keep going deep. If you look at what Harold was, he was tied for first with the best clutch hitter, game-winning hits for 20 years.
The Hall of Fame is very good. He's
130 hits out of 3,000. So if you look at his whole record and longevity, Seaver told me one time the #1 quality is excellence for a long time. He had 22 years. So my point is, if you had people in that room that voted for him, and then later on, a bunch of you guys called us a bunch of donkeys, and one guy even said that it was cronies. I'm not really upset about that because
I feel that way to a certain degree.
That it was crony?
Well, you managed him. You got Alomar who played with him.
You don't think I respect the Hall of Fame?
I didn't say did. But you do have 4 guys on that committee who have a direct relationship with the player that you put in the Hall of Fame that everybody in America thinks is not a Hall of Famer. That's going to make people think that there's a lot of... Tony, trust me. I deal with them all the time. Most people think this is a bad...
You know what would be good? I would love to get into a legitimate confrontation debate where we pull out the stuff that we looked at and you tell me that weak-ass, superficial bullshit that you look at, I'll guarantee you.
You think he's a better player than Steve Garvey? He's not a better player than Garvey.
I'm not saying he's better than Steve Garvey should be there too then. Harold Baines is a Hall of Famer, and it's a shame that now he's being looked at as not ready.
Don't you think that a Hall of Famer, if he's a Hall of Famer, should have a year or two in his career where he wins an MVP?
Do you know no.
Why not?
Because longevity, excellence over in the 80s and 90s, almost every one of the offensive stats that people trust, he was in the top 4 or 5 for 20 years.
Right.
He drove in 100 runs late in his career, and he drove in early. He's game-winning RBIs. He's up there with the best of. He had a very distinguished career that you got to pick.
I agree. He had a good career, but did he ever lead the league in any categories?
He led the league in game-winning RBIs.
Again, RBIs, run scores, batting average. Did he ever lead the league in any of those categories once?
Game-winning RBIs.
Did he ever lead the league in RBIs?
He's leading the Hall of Fame candidates in number of base hits, almost at 3,000.
You think he's a better player than Al Oliver?
Al Oliver is not better than he is.
Oh yeah, Al Oliver is. Al Oliver is a 306 lifetime hitter. He's got 2,748.
I used to watch you because I thought you knew the game.
Oh, Al Oliver is a great player. He's not in the Hall of Fame.
I'm going to start nicknaming you Clueless.
I am surprised. Now, let's get back to the other thing.
Yes, sir.
Don't you think, when you are talking about a guy that you have a very close relationship to, the owner, Reinsdorf, is on the board of Hall of Fame directors. You got Alomar to play with him, and Gillick was the general manager. Don't you think that's going to lead people to think that this is a little bit of a conflict of interest?
Well, let me ask you. Do you think that people that know him better than the average expert fan or even other baseball executive, if you've actually been teammates with him, I'm not going to recount what Alomar said about him or Pat Gillick, when they speak with more knowledge about the type of player that he was, productive player, I think that speaks more to his credit, not less.
I understand he's a productive player, Tony, but you got to be an immortal to go into the Hall of Fame. You got to be an all-time great. You got a guy that is when you look at him, that's a Hall of Famer. I saw him play. He's the same age as me. I watch all the games. I never thought when I was looking at Harold Baines that this is a Hall of Famer in front of my presence. Well, now, I didn't think that about Al Oliver either, but I didn't think that about him.
That tells me you got to look at the game closer. And when you have a guy that's a candidate for the Hall of Fame, let me ask you another question. Did you think Alan Trammell was a Hall of Famer?
He's debatable. Debatable. Now, let me before you go. I think he is. And the writers felt the same way. He never got in with the writers.
That's the point with the writers. You know,
I don't vote. Why you get on the writers?
Because you got a mouthpiece and you're telling people stuff and they believe it.
That's how I feel. I got to give you my opinion.
Here's one of the biggest issues around. There's a certain strong disrespect for traditional and old school, whether it's scouts, whether it's player development, whether it's the value of coaching, whether it's the value of in-game decision making. And you have the metrics, which is a really valuable tool. I'm a big fan of information. That's how I survived. But they have a place in the game, and what you need to do is you need to respect each other.
I get it.
The Red Sox metrics, they respect Alex and the coaches. And what happens a lot of times is people on that side are less respectful, like you are, about somebody like me that they'll watch the game and has an opinion.
Tony, you got a Hall of Fame group of writers. He was on a Hall of Fame vote for 15 years. His highest percent was 6%.
That's right.
6%. So leave Caruso out of it. I don't vote. I don't have a vote. You like Rick Hummel. He had a vote. 6%. And he was only on the ballot for 5 years. He didn't get the necessary 5%. How do you explain that?
I explain by asking you a question. Do you think I was in the game for, what, 50 years?
You're a vote.
No, let me ask you a question. I was in a game, I had 5,000 games managed.
Right.
When it comes to evaluating a Hall of Fame pitcher or player, would you trust? I have a good feel. Who would you think has a better feel? People like me that have been around the game and been in competition, or somebody that reports it?
I think you probably do.
Thank you.
All right, but that doesn't mean you're right on every single time.
No, you watch me manage. I wasn't right a lot.
You and I know each other a lot. You know, we didn't know each other before I started this show, but we've known each other a little bit. Do you think, for instance, I know what I'm talking about when it comes to old-time baseball players? When you walk out of this room, you say, you know what, I don't like that, he's wrong on this, but I do respect his history. Do you feel that way?
I used to.
Do you feel that way about the writers? Do you feel that way about the writers?
No, I think the writers, they have a strong interest, but if somebody asks me to write, I don't know how to write like they do. Well, they don't know how to evaluate a player like all of us in uniform do. That's why you balance the two. Their opinion, our opinion. When you come down and you start ripping our opinion, one guy says, I read it, cronyism. Now that's disrespectful to my integrity. I know what the Hall of Fame is, and I believe all.
You did have four guys on there who had a big relationship with Baines.
I already told you about that. They know more about Harold than you know, and they help other people understand how great he is. You know what pisses me off?
Yeah.
Harold didn't ask for this, and he's listening to his.
Oh, he's getting nailed now. He's getting killed. Yeah. You're bothered by that.
Yeah, right.
You won't understand.
I'm gonna quit cussing because you guys have got a delay.
You want to give me a high five?
Huh?
You want to give me a high five? You still mad?
I'll give you. What do you want? The right cross or the left jab? Which one?
I'll see you later. Maddog LaRussa, more to do. We continue. Lot to do. Joe Sherman's coming up a little later on. You and me, we come back. Hi, he goes over.